Once upon a time, in a small house at the edge of a quiet village, lived a boy who carried a big dream in his tired eyes. His world was simple: a mother who skipped meals so he could eat, a father whose hands were rough from years of sacrifice, and a promise he repeated to himself every night: one day I will change our life. In his hands, a degree; in his heart, a universe of hope. Every morning, before the sun touched the roads, he wore the same carefully ironed shirt. He stood in front of a great mirror and practiced a smile that hid his fear. Today would be different, he believed. Today, someone would say you are selected. With that fragile hope, he walked into the world that did not yet know his name. But the world answered differently. Sorry, we will call you. You are not what we're looking for. Better luck next time. The words were polite, but they fell like stones on his chest. One rejection became 10, 10 became 50, and hope slowly forgot the way back home. At night, when the world was asleep, he sat under a dim light with nothing but silence and a pile of rejection emails. He counted them like woods: 87, 92, 99. His hands trembled. Is my dreams too big, or am I too small for this world? The 100th interview lasted less than a minute. A man across the table didn't even look into his eyes. That was the moment something inside him broke. Outside, the rain was falling, and for the first time, he didn't run from it. He walked without direction, as if the road understood his pain better than people ever did. That night, he didn't cry. He asked a question, not why does this always happen to me, but what is this trying to teach me? And in that silence, for the very first time, Vedio spoke. Our interview, our mistake, our rejection had been training him for something greater. So he began, not with money, not with support, but with purpose. A small room, an old phone, a borrowed internet connection. He started teaching others how to face interviews without fear. The boy who was rejected 100 times became the voice of confidence for thousands. People laughed. You couldn't get a job, and now you teach success. But they didn't see the fire in his eyes, because pain had turned into power. And this time, he was not waiting for an opportunity, he was creating one. Days became months, months became years. The same boy who once waited outside interview rooms was now standing on stages, changing lives, building companies, giving jobs to people who were just like him. Rejected but not defeated. And one day, as the crowd stood and applauded his journey, he smiled and whispered to himself, "Thank you for rejecting me, because those 100 rejections were not closing doors. They were redirections toward the life he was born to create." If you are being rejected today, do not lose heart, because sometimes the path that breaks you is the path that makes you. Rejection is not the end, it is redirection.